What is up, world? Welcome back. Charge the Game podcast. And man, oh man, Christie Sides fans want you back. We all got to be careful about what we ask for. You guys already know my stance, man. I think we need to get a heterosexual male coach in the building ASAP because these women don't respect the women that the Fever have hired. Ever since Caitlin Clark arrived, guys, there just hasn't been that head coach, in my opinion, that I think can properly put their grips around this team and make them shut the F up, play basketball, team basketball, and get the job done. Now, Christie Sides, in my opinion, guys, was better at camaraderie than Coach White will ever be. Coach White has too many ties. Coach White loves to scissor as well. Coach White has affairs with DeWanna Bonner, right? She has a lot of love for DeWanna Bonner and her wife, Alyssa Thomas. She coached them. In my opinion, guys, she was in between a rock and a hard place when it comes to Caitlin Clark and the sisters. Okay, it is what it is. I believe her wife is an African-American woman too. So you guys can kind of get where I'm going here, right? But fans are sounding the alarm on Coach White. They want Christie Sides back, or are they having Christie Sides withdrawals at this point? Caitlin Clark is mentally not okay. The team is not supporting her. She's getting knocked on her ass. She's got the two other girls, Lexi Hall, Sophia Cunningham for the most part, and Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell are in between. It's just a lot going on, man. And what more does Caitlin Clark need than anything is her mental stability, right? I think Coach Christie Sides provided more of that than Coach White. What do you guys think? Let's react. Fans miss Caitlin Clark's former Fever coach amid Stephanie White's return to the season, guys. Calls are mounting on the internet to see a former Caitlin Clark coach return to the WNBA amid a rocky season for several teams. The Dallas Wings clashed on Friday, but the Indiana Fever with a 94-86 win over the Clarkless Fever over Paige Buckers and co. Coincidentally, both the Fever's Stephanie White and the Wings' Chris Coughlin have been heavily criticized for their team's performances in the first month of the 2025 season. White was on the receiving end of criticism ahead of the Wings duel, with many fans calling out her inability to close out games in her first season back with the Fever. I myself have called this out, guys. At first, I'm not going to lie, Coach White was a bit of fool's gold. You know, she played there. You know, all that history with the Indiana Fever. Just knew it, guys. I just knew that we were going to be in good position here. That is the furthest from the truth. Caitlin Clark has not only been saving Coach White in those fourth quarters, her fourth quarter debacles continue to show. Thank God she had enough common sense to leave Kelsey Mitchell, Money Mitch, in the game. And let me tell you guys something, man. Kelsey Mitchell has a great shot, man. I mean, her form, her preciseness, the release, the rainbow, the arch. Hey, man, that girl can shoot that ball, man. And they'll be crazy to let her go. She needs to be retained for the foreseeable future because her and Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard, out of all people, had to put the team on their back to get the job done. Just want to give Kelsey Mitchell her kudos. But Coach White, man, taking these sabbaticals. Obviously, guys, her and Caitlin Clark have multiple differences from their lifestyle preferences to just, you know, being in sync within the game. Coach White prefers a more boring broccoli-ass Spurs-esque type of style of basketball, where Caitlin Clark wants to push the pace because, of course, guys, Christie Sides had them in position to push the pace. There aren't any plays where Caitlin Clark can be schemed open. It's either use up. You guys ever played basketball, NBA 2K, NBA Live? You use up so much energy trying to get open that you create turnovers or you become fatigued. And that's what we see with Caitlin Clark. She has to go out here and create her own shot. By the time she has an open, more than half of the shot clock is gone. It's diminished, right? So she has no choice but just to launch it from the logo, which is success for the most part in Caitlin Clark. But as of lately, guys, with the groin injury and the overtaxing, Coach White, again, leaving her in a game with, I don't know, 8 to 10 seconds left against the Seattle Storm, a Coach White decision. Caitlin Clark still out there, re-aggravates that groin, and here we are today, a Caitlin Clarkless Fever team. These fourth quarter meltdowns are killing the Indiana Fever fan base. You guys saw it last night against the Dallas Wings, or the night before, I can't remember at this point. The Indiana Fever, man, had a hefty lead in this ball game. Fourth quarter comes, the Dallas Wings, just like clockwork, manages to outscore them 30-something points in the fourth quarter and almost came back to win. If that would have happened, I do believe the Indiana Fever would have no choice but to terminate Coach White. Well, you had Coach Christie Sides here, a.k.a. Sean Payton. Y'all know I used to make those videos saying she looks just like Sean Payton. No, she doesn't. She really does look like Sean Payton to me. But you have Coach Sides, man, who it was something about this team's aura, man, that energy, that feel when Caitlin Clark got on the court, man. It was just different. You saw Caitlin Clark's confidence from her rookie season to her sophomore season is drastically different. I think Coach Sides helped with that team building. They still didn't have Caitlin Clark's back now. I mean, there were plenty in Caitlin Clark's rookie season, man. I was pissed. Her teammates were cotton soft, man. They let all these women, Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese, all that shit, man, that wasn't cool, right? But I do remember sensing from now compared to then the camaraderie, just the overall aura of Caitlin Clark. Her confidence, man, is just not there. Caitlin Clark is in her head. She can't be chippy. She can't talk crap because no one has her back besides the two white chicks, Lexi Hall, Sophie Cunningham. You guys already know Sophie Cunningham, man. She's just tough as nails, man. She's like the Draymond Green of this team. Some way, somehow, she's the enforcer, and she has Caitlin Clark's back, which is why they brought her over there. But you don't see this from the rest of her teammates. And Christie Sides, man, at least the tempo was better. At least the pace of play was better. It was quicker. It was faster. It was more precise. Now what we see is a bunch of slow plays and Caitlin Clark being Caitlin Clark or bust. It is what it is, right? I don't see players on these other teams, going crazy to get an open look or to get an open shot. Based off what I keep seeing in Kelsey, Mitchell, Sydney Cole, they're going to have to start bringing the ball up the court more and allowing Caitlin Clark to play off the ball and allowing her to make plays off the ball or just scheming her open, man. Because I'm not seeing enough of this, especially, guys, in the fourth quarter, which is why fans are going crazy. They miss Christie Sides and they're reminiscing on the good old days and they want her back. This is what fans are chiming in saying. Sides would definitely have been an improvement over Man Bun in Dallas. As a Fever fan, I had issues with Sides and poked fun at her with the rest of the folks here, but I do miss her passion for sure. And she did do a good job of pulling the team together and guiding them to an outstanding stretch after the Olympic break. Hey, I am with you there, man. I was criticizing her because of course, guys, as fans, we expect perfection. Let's just be honest. I'm guilty of this. Okay. But do I believe Christie Sides in her third year would have been a good option? Yes. I think that because of the bitching and complaining that the Fever fan base did, including myself and other content creators, we helped advocate this move, right? We should have given her another year because she wasn't all that bad, especially when it came to team building and just the energy. She just had a lot of blooper ass decisions that turned us off. We're here to say, Christie Sides, if you're out there, we hope you're doing okay, and we kind of miss you. If the Fever finishes below 500, a lot of people will owe her an apology, another fan said. And I might make a video, guys. What are we, 16 games in the season? I'm going to do a video maybe when we hit the 20 game mark. I'm going to look at the record. Last season, what was the record at 20 games with Coach White compared to Christie Sides? I think that'll be a good video. Christie Sides made sure they put teams away last season, by the way. Alyssa Thomas is one of a kind because she covered up a lot for White. I would hope next season they do their jobs and actually find players like Washington and Golden State. They cut corners and failed. For the most part, she put teams away. And when she knew that her team didn't have it, she knew when to pull her key players. Okay? She knew. Bring Christie Sides back. If Christie Sides was a terrible coach, as an inexperienced head coach thrown headfirst into a whirlwind of WNBA revolution sparked by Caitlin Clark, then Stephanie White is an egregious coach for having the complete roadmap to success laid out and still bungling it. Wow. Now, that is a great take. You guys got to think about where Christie Sides was when Caitlin Clark stormed into the WNBA. Christie Sides was not used to that type of momentum, that type of pressure, being under a microscope, going from, I don't know, a few thousands of fans to millions of fans at once, being under that microscope, creating all that intense pressure. Where you got Stephanie White, who literally has the blueprint, and this is where the Fever are. Wow. What do you guys think? Do you believe that Christie Sides would be a better fit now in comparison to Coach White? I want to hear your thoughts, your comments, your concerns about the season going forward with Coach White. Hit me in the comment section like you often do, guys. Do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not. Also hit that like, share, notification bell for future content. See you in the next one. Peace.